Hi everyone, this is my course project from ITE6102 prepared by me, Gladys Ando, and I will submit it to Miss Professor Merdel Liwanag. I choose my topic from Group 3, or the Object-Oriented Programming 1 and 2. It's all about pointers and reference 1 and 2. Object-Oriented Programming, or OOP, classes and object. What is Object-Oriented Programming, or OOP? OOP is modeling your software in terms of classes and object. And what are the classes and objects? Classes and objects focus on classes that model real-world domain entities, allow developers to think a higher of abstraction, used successfully in every large program. In additional, so if you are writing an application that allows your users to store, edit, and manipulate images like iPhoto or on a Mac and a photo on a PC, then your classes might be the album, slideshow, and so forth. And if you're modeling student rules, system, your classes might be course, student, and professor. Encapsulation. Object contain data and operation that work on that data. Abstract data, data type, or ADT. Information hiding. Implementation specific logic can be hidden. Users of the class code to the interface, since they don't need to know the implementation. More abstraction, easier to test, debug, or maintain and extend. Reusability. Easier to reuse classes in other applications, faster development, and higher quality. Inheritance. Can create new classes in terms of existing classes. Reusability and polymorphic classes. In polymorphic classes, I think this is our new maybe for the computer programming too, because in our module we didn't discuss about this polyformic classes and polyformism and more. So in limitation in OOP, not a panacea, or OO programming won't make bad code better. Won't make bad code better. Not suitable in all types of problems. Not everything decomposes to a class. And also learning a curve. Usually in a steeper learning curve, especially for C++, many OO languages, many variation or OO concept. And in design, usually more upfront design is necessary to create good models and hierarchies. Programs can be large in size, smaller, and more complex. Classes and objects. In classes, we have the blueprint. We can make it in a blueprint. A user-defined data type has an attributes data, has methods and function, provides an public interface. Example in classes. In classes, you can make an account, employee, image, is the vector, and is the string. In object, create from a class, represent a specific instance of a class, can create many objects. It has its own identity. It can use the defined class methods. Example accounts object. So I make my example for the account object. Example, Gladys account is an instance of an account. And Bryce account is an instance of an account. Each has its own balance, can make deposits, withdrawals, etc. Example, and high score and low score. Account Gladys underscore account and semicolon or its end, and account Bry account semicolon or end. Steady vector and score semicolon and then steady string the name. Declaring classes. So now I have the example of the class name, class or class name, and we have the declaration. The declaration. In player, class player, and player, we have now inside the attributes or the steady string name and int health and int expiration. And in the methods, we have void doc close parenthesis for steady string and the text to say bold 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 is that creating object player Gladys player hero player asterisk enemy in equals to player close parenthesis and or the semicolon and then delete the enemy. In account, class account, we have also the attributes and methods. In attributes, we had a steady string, double balance, methods, ball withdrawals. And in methods, we have the ball withdraw, double amount, and ball deposit, double amount. In creating object, also in account Gladys account, and RC account RC underscore account a semicolon. And account Brian, an account asterisk Brian is when we can store your object and then equals to new account and then delete Brian account. Then in creating object also we have the example account Gladys account RC underscore account Gladys account in close parenthesis Gladys account at RC account is the Victor account 1 and then Gladys underscore account 1 push to block and RC account. So in accessing class members, we can access a class attributes and class method. Some class members will not be accessible. We need an object to access the instance variables. And now we are in dot and pointers operators. Accessing class members, if you have an object, a dot operator, using a dot operator, account Gladys underscore account and semicolon end, and Gladys underscore account a balance, RC underscore account and balance 1000. Accessing class members, if you have a pointer to an object, member of a pointer operator, difference of the pointer, then use the dot operators like account Gladys underscore account and equals to new account and in close parenthesis and semicolon end. In storing, asterisk Gladys account dot balance and then asterisk Gladys account dot deposit or in 1000, or use the method of pointer operator or arrow or operator account Gladys asterisk Gladys under RC equals count. I'm sorry, I have mistake here, so I need to put it in count equals account and close parenthesis, or you can input your number or how much you will be input and then you have this end or semicolon and then Gladys account underscore account and balance and Gladys account deposit and your input number. So public and private access of modifiers. In public, class member access modifiers are public, class or class name. So we have the public. We have also the declaration. And then in private, we have also the class name, class name, and then you have private and declaration, and also protected. Protected is the same class name, protected, and declaration. So in protected, you have two class player and private and public. In private, we had the steady string name and then int health, int health and int expiration. And then in public, you can void talk, you can steady string text to say, and then bool or is dead. So this is only the example, like compiler I wrote, which one is the okay. So player Gladys, Gladys that name equals Gladys close what do you call this one. So when you compile this, it will be marked with compiler error. And then also this Gladys.health equals 1000, it will be compiler error. Gladys.top or ready to battle, this is okay, this is a good compiler. So player.enemy equals new player, and enemy expire equals to 100, or this is compiler error. Enemy talk, I will hunt you down, this is okay compiler. So this is only the example from my creating object. So declaring a class, so in declaring a class like account, class account, we have also our private and public. In private, we can use the steady string name and a double balance. In the public, bool withdraw double amount and bool deposit double amount. So this is also my example from creating object, which one is okay or not, the compiler error, and compiler can execute. So in methods constructor and destructor, I don't have maybe in I really don't understand for this methods constructor and destructor, because we in our module we didn't discuss a lot of these things: methods constructor and destructor, class methods, default and overload destructor, copy and move constructors, shallow versus copying, and this pointer. Pointers and references. In a pointer in C++ is a variable that hold so now we are discussing in pointers and references. So in a pointer in C++ is a variable that holds the memory address of another variable. So this is the pointer. So in a reference is an alias of an already existing variable. So once a reference is initialized to a variable, it cannot be changed to refer to another variable. So like for example, int a equals 5. This is the pointer. So the pointer variable p stores the address of variable a. It points to the memory location of a. So in creating a references to a, just to make an alias for it, it does not point to A by storing its address by separate memory location. Int A equals 5 and the reference is equals to A. So in pointer, it is not necessary to initialize it with a value during declaration. Like int A equals 5, int asterisk P, and then P, so this is my mistake, P is in a smaller, not in capitalized, and then equals and A. It can be assigned a null value. It must be difference with A asterisk to access the variable value. Arithmetic operation can be performed of it. After declaration, it can be reassigned to any other variable or the same type, like int A equals 5 and int asterisk P, semicolon or an end, and P, sorry, this is my mistake also, get in P, okay. So P per and equals to and A, and then int B equals to 6 and P equals to A and B. So in reference also, in reference is opposite. In the pointers, it is not necessary to initialize it with a value during declaration, but in reference, it is necessary to initialize it with a value during declaration, like int A equals 5 and int and reference equals A and end to semicolon. It cannot be null. In pointers, it can be assigned to a null value, but in reference it cannot be a null. It doesn't not need to be difference and can be used simply by names or name. And arithmetic operation cannot perform on it, but in a pointer an arithmetic operation can perform on it. After declaration in pointer, it can be reassigned, but in referent, it can be reassigned to any other variable after its declaration. So this is my end of my presentation using my keynote on or in Android. This is the slideshow or the what do you call this, the presentation in I forgot the name, but in Mac this is my keynote or my presentation uh, for my project in OOP or object oriented programming. And the next uh, video or the next of this one, I will show you my example using my VS Code. I will write my code there and I will add it in my here in my presentation. So thank you, see you, and I will end this one and then I will go to my uh, VS Code. the decoration.